Mm-mm-mm. Champion. Right there. You see that? This is our championship trophy for the Karaoke Fantasy Football League. Put that back right where it belongs. Why is that important? Well, being the champion of a fantasy football league gives me the credentials, the ability to prognosticate what I'm about to share with you today. Now, that league has been around for about 20 years or so. Way back when, before you can go on any of your web platforms or anything like that to join a league and it does all the work for you. That's when we started that, was when you had to go to the sporting news, open the free press or your newspaper, and pull all the stats. And hopefully they were there. And we would have to call the members of the league to let them know if they've won or lost. That is how long we've been playing in that league. But what's important about it? Like I said, it gives me the credentials to prognosticate what I'm about to prognosticate to you. The Lions 2020, the Lions 2025. I can't even do it with a straight face. I'm sorry. The Lions 2025 schedule has been released, and I know I'm a week late, and everyone's already done this, and they've given their predictions about how they're going to do, and are they going to make the playoffs? I mean, the Vegas over is what, 10.5? Well, yeah. I don't think they're going to do quite as bad as Vegas, but before we get into the predictions, though, I want to do a little housekeeping for my loyal subscribers. Those of you that are watching, you can see I've changed up the intro a little bit. Got a much better theme song, and I have made a channel name change. We still are gonna cover some politics, but we do dive into sports every once in a while, movies, entertainment. So I also wanted to change the name of this. Ooh, that just goes to show you. This is why I got such a shitty channel, is because I'll sit here and I'll yawn. I might burp. It just comes out. I can't help it. It happens. It's really weird. I could be sitting somewhere just bullshitting with somebody, and it just comes out fluently, perfectly, the way I want it to come out. But then as soon as I turn this camera on and get behind this microphone, I start yawning. My eye itches. I'll like have a booger hanging from my nose, and I'm sitting here for 2.5 hours trying to do a 15-minute freaking segment. So, enough of me babbling. Anyway, but yeah, the housekeeping stuff. Name change to the channel. We're no longer Just Another Thought. We are just going with no filter because I wanted to, and I'm sure there are other channels out there that have the same name, but it doesn't matter because, well, this channel's mine. I will be making the adjustment to the YouTube title card and all that other stuff probably when I post this later on today and get this done edited. See, I told you right there. It just doesn't come out the way this moves faster than this. That's my problem. This moves faster than this. But anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's get into the Lions schedule, and here we go. Oh, before we do that, when I give you my predictions, let me know what you think. If you agree with them, great. If not, put your predictions down below in the comments and tell me why I'm such a loser. All right, so I will talk to you guys in a little bit. So let's go. Go Lions. And here we go. Lions schedule. Now, before we get into the win or loss for week 1, my opinion, mind you, if you agree with me, cool. If you don't, tell me why down below. I think with the Lions getting the extra preseason game this year, the Hall of Fame game, that it's going to be beneficial to the entire team. Not necessarily the players, but I think it's going to benefit the coaching staff because it gives you an extra week to go through the motions of preparing for a week and planning. And I think in doing so, that extra week of, I guess you would say, preparing is going to be really beneficial this first half of the season. So on that, going into week 1, going into Green Bay, I think the extra time in the preseason, getting ready for the season, the Lions come away with a win in week 1. Now on to week 2, we come home against Chicago. And locally here, we get to play public enemy number 1, Ben Johnson. Rookie head coach. He's got Caleb Williams, who I think is incredibly overrated. I don't care what any of the prognosticators say or talking heads say. It's been garbage time. He's another garbage time quarterback. But anyway, that's not important right now because all that matters is the wins and losses. Home opener against the Bears. Lions win this game. Week 3. Well, I only have 2 words for you. Lamar Jackson. Lions lose. Week 4. Cleveland comes to town. Those poor fans. You know, they do remind me a lot of us here. And there's a lot of similarities in a lot of the trials that they've had to go through that we've gone through. Well, both teams have gone through. You know, I'm not saying that we are the best team in the NFL. We could be, but I'm not telling you that. From the front office moves to free agency, overpaying free agents, I really feel bad for that fan base. But not to the extent of the hate I have for the rest of the NFL and their teams. Because we're going to destroy Cleveland week 4. Flat out. So Lions win week 4. Now, week 5. I honestly thought this game was on the road. And I don't know if maybe the graphics person who made this particular schedule is wrong. But Lions win this game in a shootout. I think if we can control Hendrickson, we're going to put up a bunch of points. I really do. And I think at right around this point, we're going to find out what we really have for our defense and our offense. And going into week number 6, we draw the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. And it's our first big game under the lights at night. Normally, the Lions perform unbelievable when they're under the lights in prime time. But this year, I think Kansas City's got a number. Jared Goff is going to suffer his first loss to Patrick Mahomes. Lions lose in Kansas City. The following week, we come home against Tampa. Now, Tampa always plays us tough. For some reason, last year, I have no idea how they won that game. I have no idea how Tampa Bay won that game last year. And they're not going to win this year. Lions are going to handle Tampa this year, and I think they're going to do it fairly easily. I really do. I think they're going to do it easily going into the bye on a high note. So, right now, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 2 going into the bye week. Now, as we come out of the bye, that gives us 2 weeks to prepare for Minnesota at home. And you got essentially a rookie quarterback in JJ. We're already inside Minnesota's head when it comes to the games. And I do not see JJ McCarthy being able to beat the Lions. Doesn't matter. You got Justin Jefferson, it don't matter. You got Hawk, I don't think it's going to matter. Lions will win this game outright by at least 10 points. Lions win. The following week, we finally get our revenge game against Washington. Traveling out to Washington, D.C. to play the Commanders. We gave away that game in the playoffs. I think we gave it away. I don't mean just from the bad play by Jared Goff, but I think it came down to the coaching staff. They did not have the Lions ready to play that game. Everybody, I really deep down think they were looking past Washington and they wanted to get to Philadelphia. They wanted to host that NFC Championship game so bad here. They wanted it so bad, but they forgot to focus on what was in front of them. And I think that is what lost that game last year. And in doing so, Lions are going to Washington, and they want to make a statement. They're going to Washington, and they are going to win that game. Lions beat Washington. The following week, back-to-back, this is the game that everyone wanted to see last year in the NFC Championship game. They wanted us in Philly. Now, being where it is in the year, it's not too cold, not too, it's not going to be warm. But it's going to be in Philadelphia. It doesn't matter. Outdoor game. Everyone talks about Goff and how he can't perform outdoors. Well, we know that in the last few years, he's completely proven them wrong. But in this case, Philadelphia is just, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. The Super Bowl champions outclass us. We can't stop Saquon in this game. For some reason, we can't stop Saquon. I don't know why. Saquon's going to run all over us. It is. And it's going to show us it's going to be the really big proof of why McNeil needs to be back in the lineup. And at this point in the season, McNeil should be on he should be on his way back, because it's rumored that he's going to be out for at least 9 to 10 weeks. And even if he's ready to go, we see that Dan Campbell, he has a tendency of holding back the player even another week or two, even if they're ready to go, to make sure that, nothing is aggravated, nothing's, made worse. So I could actually see McNeil being held out till at least week 12, which I don't really like, which is fine, because in this case, after the Philadelphia loss, we come back home against the Giants. And that would be a great, I guess you would say, warm-up for McNeil to come back into the lineup. And finally, on this week, we are going to have a defensive showcase for the Detroit Lions. The Lions will dominate the Giants, coming off of a loss in Philly. Lions win that game. Thanksgiving Day, here we go. We got the Pack is back. I think the Lions really find their footing in the season. They really do. And here, it's going to be another close game because it's Thanksgiving, and we all, regardless of who we play, for some freaking reason, we have a hard time getting over the top. Last year we got lucky. Because of the freaking coaching mistakes in Chicago. They could have just kicked the field goal, and they just let the clock run out and run a play. Didn't understand it. No one understood it. But in this case, Lions are going to handle the Green Bay Packers. I would say by 6 points. Not quite a touchdown. All right. Then we have Dallas. Everyone's favorite team to hate. Now I got to take it back. It's not really it's the team. Also, I think it's the ownership. Nobody likes Jerry Jones except for Jerry Jones. So, just because of my hate for Dallas, Lions blow Dallas out like they did last year and embarrass them on national TV. Now, the following week, we go out to LA, where LA really has no home field advantage. It's warm weather, it's indoors, and of course, it's another Stafford game. Now, this game though, can be pretty interesting. Initially, right now, I have this game down as a loss. The only reason I have it down as a loss is if Stafford plays. And what I mean by that is he has a tendency to get hurt. So they really, really don't have that much of an offensive line there. And I mean, they did do some things in the offseason to try and make it better. But if you can't protect Stafford, he's not going to be playing. And if he's playing in this game, I think they have a shot at winning it. But if Stafford isn't playing, Lions win this game. Otherwise, if Stafford plays, Rams win this game. And at this point, the Rams, of course, will be fighting for their playoff lives towards the end of the season. They're going to be trying to do whatever they can to get into the playoffs. They may even be playing to win that the NFC West also, because it's a very weak division. Now, the following week, we come home. against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think we roll Pittsburgh. I really do. I think this is at least a 10-point win. This is a 10-point win against the Pit. Now, after that, we finish the season, 2 road games. Going into Minnesota, I honestly don't think Minnesota is going to have anything to play for. We're playing for basically clinching the division or playoff seeding. That's really about it. And I think Minnesota throws in the towel on this one. Lions win on the road. Final game of the year, we go to Chicago. Chicago's not going to be fighting for a playoff spot. We don't have anyone else really on our heels except for Green Bay. But I think Green Bay is maybe a 10-win team, maybe 11 wins. This game is not going to mean anything for the Detroit Lions. The Lions are going to rest some players, and they're going to take a loss against Chicago. That is my regular season prediction. The Lions will finish 12-5, possibly 13-4, depending on, like I said, in the LA game, is Stafford playing or is Stafford hurt? Stafford hurt, Lions win that game. Stafford playing, Lions lose. And mind you, I am no Stafford lover. I'm just basing it on the odds of, what LA is playing for, where they're at. And because you look at the NFC West, it's really not a strong division. San Francisco really ain't got nothing anymore. Arizona is not that great of a team. I think they're a bubble team. Seattle's kind of a bubble team now too. So you're looking at the Rams probably winning the NFC West. But besides that, with the Lions going 13-4, 12-5, all right, where are we going to end up in the seeding? Well, more than likely, Tampa's going to win the South, which would probably be with a 10 or 11 wins. Okay. The Rams are probably going to be right around that same area, 10 or 11 wins. The team to beat, honestly, for home seeding for the number 1 seed is going to be Philadelphia. And they have a tougher schedule this year as well. I really think Philadelphia will end up with number 1 seed, and I think this will end up putting us with the 2 seed with a 12 or a 13 win season. My wild cards. Washington will probably make it. Green Bay will probably make it again. And I think that's it, isn't it? No, that's 2, 3. No, one more wild card. That's it. Okay. So what I end up seeing happening is, no, there is one more. Why am I losing track of wild card teams? No, that's it. Crap. Carolina, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on how many freaking wild card teams there are. That is, But anyway, but that's what I have. Lions going 12-5, 13-4. I think they'll end up playing, they'll probably end up playing Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game in Philly. And I was close on my prediction from last year as well. I had the Lions playing Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game as well last year, and us beating them in the NFC Championship game. But until we can get over that playoff hump, a disappointing loss last year, that means we're going to have to win 2 playoff games to get there this year. And Philadelphia is a very strong football team. They are an amazing football team. I did not realize how good they were until the Super Bowl last year. And when it comes to that last year, even if we would have played Philadelphia in that NFC Championship game, I'm glad we didn't. Not the way our roster was with all the injuries going up against Philly. And we thought the Washington losing to Philadelphia was bad, was a blowout. Philadelphia would have walked all over us with that offense. There is no way in the world we would have been able to stop them. And I don't think we would have been able to keep up with them. I really don't. Right now, Philadelphia is by rights the best team in football. But I will tell you this right now, I would put us, when it comes to power rankings after the draft and where we're sitting, with our healthy roster, I would put us at least 2 or 3. I would actually push Buffalo now to number 2, because I'll be honest with you, I think Buffalo is going to beat Kansas City this year coming into the playoffs. Buffalo's going to a Super Bowl. They really are. They might not necessarily win, but they're going to a Super Bowl. And I would put us like probably right there behind Buffalo as like probably like the third ranked in the power rankings. Not that my power rankings mean anything to you. You know, it's not like I do the research. I'm just giving you what I see by watching games. But that's my prediction. I think we are going to end up bringing it back to the NFC Championship game this year. And I think in order for us to make it to the Super Bowl, I think it will take a miracle. I really do. I think Philadelphia, in order for Philadelphia to lose to us, they're going to have to suffer what we suffered last year on the defensive side of ball, or even Hurts or Saquon would have to be injured in order for us to get past them. But we're going to see. Like I said, if you guys agree with it, cool. If not, tell me what your record, tell me what you think the record is going to be for 2025. And so that was it. That was the Detroit Lions schedule game that everyone has already played like a million times in the last week. I'm late to the party, but anyway, that's going to be it for today, you guys. I love yous. And of course, see you next time. Stay good. Good night.